Bang! Bung Bung Coffee. I fucked up the first recording and I'm here again. This is going to be the shortest ad read for Bung Bung Coffee of all time. It's the best coffee you'll ever get. It tastes good. It makes your face look good. It makes other people's faces that wouldn't necessarily look good to you, look better to you. It's like that movie Shallow Hal in a cup. So drink the Bung Bung Coffee. It's going to make you better at what you do, smarter, more fiscally responsible. Get around it. Bungbungcoffee.com will get you to the site, and promo code Poddy, Poddy, will get you 15% off all orders. Bungbungcoffee.com. That's BUNG coffee.com. Enter promo code Poddy for 15% off of all orders. No minimum order, no maximum order, and what a life-changing experience you will have. Let's start the show.
Welcome to the party. Best show on the internet. Ask anybody. You know it's easy money. Sit back, relax, get your headphones, everybody. Welcome to the party. Blackout in the booth. Every episode's a party. We go hard like Ricky Bobby. Tell a friend to tell a friend. This is welcome to the party.
Welcome to the party, bung bung. It's your man Claytron, aka the Big Boss Man, aka the Clumsy Jeweler, because I'm always dropping gems, aka the Milkman, because I always deliver, aka the PhD of podcasting and the Magnum PI of podcasting, the Captain. I'm back here again for maybe the fourth time with Blake Everett, the one and only.
It's good to be here with the Milkman. I love your milk. I love your coffee.
Oh, and how do you take your coffee?
How do I take my coffee? Well, you said, there's no minimum order. So when I order from you, I get one bean.
One bean.
One bean. That'll last me up to 3 years. Sometimes.
Yeah, and that's sometimes you got to do the fun things in life sparingly.
Absolutely.
Because otherwise you'll get over it.
If I have too much coffee, I'm going to go fucking crazy.
Yeah, absolutely loco. For loco. We are here with Blake Everett, fresh from Fringe World Perth.
Yes.
I'm Beside Myself is the name of your show.
Sure is.
Blake Everett, I'm Beside Myself. Tell us about the show. We're doing plugs off the top.
Great. I love plugs and I love coffee. And I love Shallow Hal.
Shallow Hal is a great film.
I don't think it's aged well.
No, not in this climate.
I love a movie where a man has to be hypnotized to appreciate a fat woman. That's the premise of it. I wrote because Jason Alexander's in that as well.
Yeah, George,
basically playing George again.
Yeah,
and I always just remember that scene where he leaves a woman because her second toe is longer than her big toe.
Yeah, and that is gross, but but should never be the reason you leave a woman.
No, there should be other reasons, like it's a toxic relationship or something like that.
Yeah. Speaking of Jason Alexander, he gets a lot of praise for being such a fantastic actor, and I love him as George.
Yeah,
but he's not like Mr. Oscar winner. He's not.
No, yeah.
Have you seen him in anything else that's like sort of blown your mind?
I saw him in the feature film Dunstan Checks In.
Oh, yes.
Which is about an orangutan who checks into a hotel.
And I wouldn't quite call that. I wouldn't call that Jason Alexander's magnum opus.
No, but he definitely should have at least won maybe a Independent Spirit Award for it or something.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to have spirit to... work alongside a monkey.
Yeah. I mean, he's good. He didn't say the N-word on the Laugh Factory stage.
Yeah, like his other orangutan co-worker.
Yeah, Michael Richards, the orangutan.
So tell us about I'm Beside Myself.
Sorry, I pushed the plug back a bit because I wanted to talk about the cast of Seinfeld.
Yeah, I couldn't help it.
Two more people we can talk about.
When we brought up Jason Alexander, I had to say my piece about him maybe being wrongly given stolen valor, really.
Yeah,
of being a phenomenal actor.
You're absolutely right.
He's George. He's George.
He's George.
Yeah.
And that's all he'll ever be.
Yeah. And he was in Curb Your Enthusiasm as essentially George.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Larry David was in Curb Your Enthusiasm as essentially George.
Yeah.
Before we plug my show, I want to. Of course I do.
Yeah. Let's unplug for a sec.
Let's unplug. Let's turn these mics off. Let's get real. Let's go
off mic. Let's go off mic.
Easy money.
That was beautiful. What a beautiful sound effect.
Oh, we've got plenty.
I can't wait to hear more.
Oh, we'll go crazy.
I was going to say the first time I ever came to Adelaide, I might have told you this before. but I probably haven't told you, the listener. Hello.
We got so many new listeners.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, so they need
I hope
to hear
they're
it.
buying coffee.
Some of them are.
Come
That's
on,
the only,
guys.
That's the only source
the
of
discount
funding
code.
we've got.
First time they came to Adelaide was 2016 outside of Fringe in October. And the reason I came was to see Jerry Seinfeld
Oh, right.
when he was here. And the way that happened was a year before the concert, I was in my clubbing phase. I was 18.
Yep.
I was going to a place called Rats in Melbourne, which I describe these days as a sarcophagus of sleaze.
Oh,
Real horrible place, but at the time it's where I needed to be.
Yeah.
Okay. And I met
part of your journey.
Absolutely. And I'm glad to have gone through that part and left it behind me.
Yeah, and I think you definitely did leave the sleaze behind you because you're a beautiful man.
Oh, thank you so
Inside
much.
and out.
You're making me want to be sleazy with you. So I met this guy there, just maybe 1 or 2 nights. We connected because we were both wearing Hawaiian shirts, which was also another part of my journey, wearing a lot of Hawaiians.
Well, I think you were still in that journey the last time you were here.
Yeah, it's only kind of a recent departure,
Yeah.
I think. But this guy, his name is Lachlan. We met a couple of times. We became friends on Facebook. And then he messaged me one day out of the blue, and he was like, "Hey, I've got 2 tickets to see Jerry Seinfeld in Adelaide in a year's time.
2 tickets to paradise.
Do you want to come with me?" I went, sure. You know, I don't really know this guy, but why not? He's like, "Cool, well, let's catch up at some point. Just make sure, you know, we like one another." And I was like, okay.
Okay.
So 6 months after the invitation, we catch up and we just have a coffee. Well,
6 months after the invitation.
Yeah.
So hold on, where was the invitation? Was it at Rats?
no, he messaged me on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
He told me.
And wait, so he knew that you were like into.
Yeah, he knew I did comedy.
Yeah.
So I think at the time I was going to Rats, it was also the time I did my very first comedy show.
Yeah.
So I was in year 12, I was 18, and my show was called I Should Be Studying. And it was fun. And I remember going to Rats, and I'd always have my flyers with me.
Yeah.
And just kind of pop them around the venue, leave them out in like the smokers area on the tables and that. And people would be like, "Hey, is this you?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, it is actually."
Oh, wow. I didn't
Wow,
see
who
that.
put
there.
that there? He looks funny. So he knew I did comedy, and maybe we'd spoken about Seinfeld, but it still felt a little out of the blue. And he's
Yeah.
like, "Well, let's do it." So we catch up 6 months later. He's not a psycho. I'm like, "Cool, I'm good to go."
Good.
Another 6 months later, the date is approaching.
Yeah.
So I come up about a week earlier. He's got work, so he's going to come on the weekend. So I come here and I do my first gigs in Adelaide. Do Rhino Room, do Cranker Comedy, and I do the Marion.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it was a nice week of gigs. And then he flies in on the Saturday. I pick him up. And that night, we go and see Jerry Seinfeld. And I was kind of like, you know, he's great.
Yeah.
But I've always kind of felt, especially at that age, that the stand-up was the worst part of the show.
Yeah.
So, oh, Jerry's talking again.
Yeah,
Just show
yeah.
me how he gets the ideas.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So I wasn't super excited, but I was like, you know, it's going to be good to see a living comedy legend. And it was so funny.
Yeah, right.
He's just a master of his craft.
Yeah.
And his skills of observation are just second to none.
Yeah.
And
No, I don't think you've told that story. On
there you go. Well, I'm glad I could
that was
share
fresh
it here.
to my ears and the day one listeners'
Beautiful.
ears. Yeah, fantastic. Wow.
And then I think with this guy, so after the show, I think we went to Nordburger, got a burger. So it was pretty
Beautiful.
good. So it was a nice day. And then I think the plan was we were going to stay a couple more nights. And the next morning we're up. He's like, "Oh yeah, let's do a couple of things." We do one thing, and he's like, "Nah, I'm sick of Adelaide." And then we left.
Oh, wow.
So that was my first time here.
What was the thing that you did that made him hate Adelaide so much?
What was it? I think we just walked down Rundle Mall.
Oh, so okay, so you did do it all.
Yeah. Oh, actually, we did 2 things. We went for a walk down Rundle Mall, and then he was like, "Let's go for a drive out this way." And I'd hired a camper van, so we kind of went for a drive out towards like the wine region.
Yep.
And he sees this big tree on the side of the road. He's like, "Pull up here, pull up here." So I pull up, and then he gets out and he starts looking for mushrooms around the base of this tree.
Right.
And I'm like, "What are you doing?" He's like, I'm looking for drugs." I was like, "Oh, it makes sense. I did meet you at a very dingy nightclub in
Yeah.
Melbourne."
Okay. Well, yeah, it all comes full circle.
Yeah.
There is a forest somewhere down south where you where people do go and harvest mushrooms.
Great. I'll send him a message.
Yeah, get him to come back. Give it a second
seen
chance.
him since 2016. Mate, let's go to Adelaide
Yeah,
again.
give it a second chance, Lockie. Wow.
And then there's who else? There's Elaine, and I don't have anything in particular to say about her. She's very funny and good on her.
Newman.
Yeah, Newman.
Yeah.
He's also in Dunstan Checks In, I think. Maybe.
My Dunstan checks in like reference knowledge. It's not up to scratch.
Man, we should have watched it.
Yeah, we should have. We really should
But
have.
I feel like Wayne Knight is in Dunstan Checks In.
Wayne Knight, and is that Fat Wayne or Skinny Wayne? Because I've seen him in movies since Seinfeld, and he definitely shed a lot of that.
Did
weight,
yeah? I think it was around the time he was doing Seinfeld. It might have been early 2000s, but he still very much looks like Newman.
Yeah. Damn, what a character.
Anyway, can I plug my goddamn show?
Yeah, come on, let's do it. What's so I'm beside myself.
Yeah, so it's a sketch and musical comedy show. Very silly. I start the show as a cult leader.
Oh, I like that.
And it's pretty crazy. So I did it in Perth for 9 nights, which was fun. It was good to work the show up and get it in a place where I'm really excited to be doing it now in Adelaide. But it was hard, I was kind of giving out a lot of free tickets just to get people in the room. And, word started spreading, but it wasn't a long enough run for it to really kind of kick into gear.
Yeah. And what's your run here in Adelaide?
So I'm doing 6 nights at the Rhino Room, March 7th to the 12th.
Like the Rhino Room upstairs?
No, I'm in the basement.
Yeah. Which one? Which room?
I'm in the Drama Llama.
Drama Llama, nice.
Which is nice.
That's a fun little room. Yeah. Well, the biggest of the 3 downstairs rooms.
Yeah. But it's a really nice space. So can't wait for that.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. I think next year I'm going to go for Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah, I've done I think 2 shows in there, and it's such a perfect space.
Yeah, it's cool. I my first ever time being on stage for Fringe was in there. I was opening for Zach Watson, and very low ceilings. I was definitely like,
I really thought you could say Zach Watson, very low self-esteem.
yeah, well, I can't call it, but yeah, I thought I was going to bang my head because it's got that beam that kind of comes down. So I was like, would have been good to have a stool, I think, in that room. But.
I didn't bang my head in that room. So Oliver and I did Oliver Coleman and I did a show in that room called Blake and Oliver Dig Their Own Graves, in which we played 2 struggling shovel salesmen on the run from the Russian mob. And that was the first time we'd ever done that show. And I had this bit where I get really angry. And in one particular show, I kind of like hit the wall and put a hole through the wall in Hell's Kitchen.
Oh yeah, you told me about that. I don't think that was in the show I was at. But
but just smashed the wall, and then we had a second show that night. So between the shows, just put up like an A4 bit of paper and gaffed it on. And I kind of explained to the audience early on. I was like, by the way, I think they're a little bit hesitant, in loosening up and laughing.
Yeah.
So I was like, just so you know, we had another show before. I got angry and I put a hole in the wall. So you better start fucking laughing. Then later in the show, I had a moment where I pretended to get angry and just very lightly punched the A4 paper through.
Great.
And it was nice.
Yeah.
Then the next day, we come in expecting that the hole to still be there. But our tech, Maddie, what she did was she took a photo of the hole, printed it out, put it in a frame, and hung the frame over the hole.
That is fantastic.
Yeah, it was lovely.
Love that. Love that.
And the venue didn't make me pay for any damage.
Oh, that's great.
So I think the message I want to give out to everyone is if you got anger issues, just let them out. There's going to be no consequences.
No consequences at all.
You're not going to have to pay for the damage. It's fine.
Yeah, it's a healthy way to express the way you're feeling.
Yeah.
Even if what you're really feeling is sadness.
Yeah.
Use anger.
Absolutely. If you're feeling a little down, go and drink a cup of Bung Bung coffee and smash a hole through a wall.
Put some Bung Bung coffee in a cup, not quite to the top. Put the rest whiskey. Really get your emotions worked up. Start punching things.
It's a good idea, man.
Yeah. No, that was a great show. I'm beside myself. Sounds like just as good, if not better.
I am really happy with it. I think it's the best thing I've ever made.
That's great. Well, that's and that's I had an interesting conversation with someone the other night.
Yeah.
Because I had a bit of a issue at my show with some. I'm in an outdoor venue.
Yeah.
Some guys jumped the fence and started heckling, and I struggled to deal with it, and then I struggled to like sort of get the crowd back after the whole thing. So I was talking to a friend after the show because I was pretty down, and he said being a creative doesn't get easier with the experience. It's actually one of the few things that gets harder. Because you're seeing things that you've never seen before, you're noticing things that you've never noticed, and like, you might get better at painting, but your errors are going to look so much bigger.
Sure, yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, and I took some comfort in that, but being able to feel that you're putting out your best work is that's really good. I feel the same about my show. But I guess comedy, you got to execute, and it's just like
you got to be on.
You can say
night.
the same words every night, but it's not going to have the same result.
And then when you've got hecklers as well, it always makes it more difficult. I did a show in Perth, which ended up being a really good show. But I think, I've been doing comedy since I was 14, so like 11 years now.
Wow.
And I think it was the hardest show I've ever had to do in my life.
Why is that?
It was good. It was a Saturday, so I always find Saturdays to be the hardest night of the week because everyone's a bit more drunk, and my shows are often a bit more theatrical. And so if you talk, I'm going to go 5 minutes over. That's how it works. I've got a very tightly scripted 57-ish minutes. Which doesn't sound as tight when I put the ish after 57 minutes. So this crowd, they were great, really into it, but from the get-go, they just were heckling. Like nearly everyone, every single group had someone that wanted to talk, and it wasn't bad heckling. It was good. They were sticking to the narrative, but I had to stop so much and go, hey, this is my time to shine. If you're going to talk that much, come to rehearsals. Okay, and then we'll figure it out.
We'll get this nice and tight.
We'll make it a group show. Okay? But for now, it's a solo. Listen to me.
It's so frustrating in the comedy world because people don't go to Hamilton. And yell out at the actors.
Aaron Burr.
it's just comedy. Like people feel. They always feel like they're making the show better, or it's part of it.
But I've had a couple of friends who have seen shows like in Broadway, and they've said to me that audiences on Broadway are some of the worst people you'll ever meet. Just so rude. Like she said that she went and saw this show, and there was someone sitting next to her, maybe in their 50s, just playing Angry Birds. Volume on in the middle of Matilda or something like that.
That has to be an anomaly. She can't be at every show.
Well, maybe this person isn't playing Angry Birds all the time, but that's kind of the level, And then you'll get people on their phones, and there's a performer, Paddy Lampoon, who I don't know too much about, but if you search them up, you can find clips of them just going absolute crazy because someone's on their phone in the audience. Which is, you're doing a scripted show. You really shouldn't be breaking, but she'll kind of just break character and go, get the fuck off your phone. I'm performing. Pay attention to me. I understand it. I understand it 100%. I don't understand why you would buy tickets to my show, which is only $28, let alone... I don't understand why people would buy tickets to your show.
But like Broadway is expensive. So why go there and not experience what you've paid for?
I don't get it. Because another show I had in Perth, I had a couple of middle-aged women in the crowd, and from the moment I came on stage, their arms were crossed and they just weren't ready to accept that they were at a comedy show. And the entire time, like everyone was kind of sitting in the middle, and then there was like a side section of chairs, and they were the only two people there. I was like, hey guys, do you want to move here so I don't have to crane my neck to perform for you? And they were like, no, we'll stay here.
Oh, do you think they were like reviewers or judges or something?
No, they weren't. They actually, they got free tickets. Right. And, if you get free tickets, just kind of loosen up. Just enjoy it.
Be
it doesn't
happy to
matter.
be there.
Just give it a go, you know. And I appreciate that they gave it a go. But I've got a bit in my song. I've got a bit in the show where it's like an 8-minute long song, which I power through.
Yeah.
And about 4 minutes into it, I just look over and I see this woman whose name is Sonia. I got her name. And she just kind of collapses into her hands, face in hand, and just the most negative body movement I've ever seen. And I was like, oh my God, I'm not going to win them back.
Yeah.
They're done. And then afterwards, I went and saw another show. I went and saw Shad and Pete, who you've had on the Poddy before. And I go and see their show. I come in a little bit late. I sit down and I see sitting 2 rows in front of me, Sonia. And they're loving it.
Oh my God.
They're having the time of their life. And afterwards, when they're leaving, they lock eyes with me and hey, great show, wasn't it? And she was like, yeah.
Oh my God.
Then next day, I get up and in Perth, you can leave, as an audience member, you can leave little reviews.
The Fringe feed.
Yeah, Fringe Reacts. And you've kind of got options to choose from, which are Laugh So Hard I Cried, which I got quite a few of, not to brag.
Beautiful.
You got the Greatest of All Time. Yeah. And then there's some more negative ones, which are like Not My Cup of Tea.
Yep.
Or something like that. And this Sonia left a review. This person who got free tickets. Also, I believe if you get free tickets, just keep your opinions to yourself.
Yeah.
If you paid $20, then you're entitled
you've
to
got
your
the
opinion.
right, yeah.
But be quiet otherwise.
Yeah.
And her review, the react she chose was Not My Cup of Tea.
Yeah, you went for free, you can't. Yeah.
Yeah. And her review was unimpressed, highly confusing.
What an idiot.
I don't think the show is that confusing. I think you're just a silly woman.
Yeah. Dumb bitch, they call them.
But I wish her all the best.
Cut that.
No. Let's keep in Clay calling a woman a dumb bitch. Let's go back to talking about what the hell?
Well, that's Kawhi Leonard laughing at us.
Yeah, great. Thanks for laughing. Yeah.
Yeah, wow. I don't know about the Fringe reacts.
Yeah.
I think that is the only negative one you can leave. They're all like pretty positively geared.
Yeah, I think there's one other one that kind of leans towards negative.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what it is.
But
there's another one. There's Sexy Fringe Show. Which no one did that one for me.
No one's ever done that. I don't think. Maybe for like a naked circus or something.
Yeah. The other ones I've got them here. Emotional Roller Coaster.
Mm-hmm.
Recycle That. Would See Again. And No Idea What I Just Saw.
Oh, yeah. That's a negative.
Which I also got one of them. Which the react was No Idea What I Just Saw. And the review was Sometimes laughter is a coping mechanism.
I only got one of those reacts, and it was the goat. So I was happy with that.
Oh, great!
And she said nothing. She said, "Good show, very funny." That's all it said.
It's nice though.
The frustrating thing was that the woman's name was Rachel that left it, which happens to be my girlfriend's name. So no one will even believe that that it was a random person that gave me that.
I've got some friends who I think you know as well, John and Ollie, who are doing a show called John and Ollie Put the Kettle On, which has won weekly awards in both Perth and Adelaide now.
Yeah.
And it's such a fun, silly show. But they got a review, which I think was a No Idea What I Just Saw, or it might have been a Not My Cup of Tea. I think it was the first review they got. Here it is. This is one of the funniest audience reviews. It's so full on that you can't help but not laugh at it.
I can't wait.
So here it is. It's Not My Cup of Tea, and it's from Jane G, reviewed on the 28th of January 2023. Here's what it says. This may be the worst show I have ever seen. Not My Cup of Tea doesn't even begin to cover it. The fact that Fringe allowed these guys to charge $30 per ticket is absolutely criminal.
Oh my God.
Imagine going to a comedy show. So this show is just so silly. Like they do like a karaoke and one of them's singing as a dog and one's singing as a goat. It's just real kind of silly, random stuff. To be that offended by something that's so innocuous.
Yeah.
It's like, don't let it keep you up.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like
don't worry about it.
That end of it is truly insane because it's like it's not even offensive.
Yeah.
But
John
like,
and Ollie should be locked up in the gulag.
yeah.
Send them to Alcatraz.
But then, like, to even go to a comedy show to like an edgy comedian that's saying like crazy shit, right? But it's a comedy show, so they're joking because that's what comedy is jokes.
Yeah.
And to be offended by jokes is nuts. But like to be offended by someone pretending to be a dog singing karaoke is like, give it a rest, man. Like just take it for what it is. It's fun. It's silly. Yeah. Let's just have a good time.
Yeah. Not everything you see is going to be your cup of tea.
Yeah, or what you expect.
That's fine.
Like,
sure, yeah.
Just because you don't expect it doesn't mean it's bad.
I often apologize for not being Dave Hughes.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people come in and they just want some conventional stand-up. They want what they see on the gala.
Yeah.
And I'm not that.
No. Not many, like, I guess not many people are, though.
No.
Because, like, I mean, if everybody was doing that, like, it is already, like, you know, no offense to Dave Hughes, but it's a bit like, okay, I've seen this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got his thing.
Yeah.
You know, I think the weirdos need to come out to play.
Yeah.
And Earth and humanity as a species need to get on board.
Support it. That's what the Fringe is all about.
Yeah, try something new. And if you don't like it, that's fine.
Yeah, kill yourself.
I didn't say that.
Cut that. Have you got any like lineup gigs that you're going to be on like during the week as well?
I think I'm doing Cranker Comedy on Tuesday, doing a couple of the best of Fringe comedy in the Garden on the weekend.
Yeah, nice.
Maybe a couple other things. I drove in on Friday. I drove from Melbourne, got up at 7:30 a.m. after going to bed at 1:30 a.m.
Oof.
So 8-hour drive on 5 hours sleep. The ratio's off there.
Yeah, that is very off.
So drove in, went and met the people I'm staying with who are lovely, and that was really nice. Then I go and do a friend's podcast, another friend.
Yeah.
Sorry to break it to you, but I've got multiple friends who do podcasts.
Lesser friend.
She doesn't sell coffee though.
Oh, what an idiot.
Yeah. So I do that, which was nice. Then I go and pick up my flyers, go and see a couple of shows, go see Dougie Baldwin, who did a really great show here, which is finished now.
Mm-hmm.
But he does a show on weekends at Arthur's Art Bar called Limbo Comedy, which I'm actually doing on Friday, which is a real fun kind of alternative comedy night. So if you want to see something silly, see all the weirdos in one space at one time, great show to go and see.
And Friday's the 10th.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's right.
Of March. 10th of March, 2023.
Yeah. So I went and saw his show. Then I went and saw Oliver Coleman's new show, which was great as well.
Neon,
that's it, which is finished. So don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
And then I did 3 gigs. I did Rhino Late Show.
Yes.
Lies and Clowns, which is also like an alternative comedy night in Gluttony. And then I did Fat Cave.
Yeah.
Which was so much fun. Got on stage around 1 a.m.
Wow.
And after such a big day, I was like, I'm ready for bed. And I went to bed.
Yeah. And you've got interesting roommates.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
So I'm staying with, I messaged a friend of mine who lives here, and I said, hey, man, my accommodation's fallen through. Do you know anything that could work out for me? And he said, yeah, let me get back to you. And an hour later, he messages me saying, so my neighbours said they can put you up for your entire trip. And I get there, and this house is beautiful. I've got a whole section to myself.
It's a little ritzy section of Adelaide.
Oh, yeah. I was going to be staying on a couch with an open micer. So I'm so glad that I've got a room to myself. I've got an ensuite. They've got a heritage listed pool in their backyard.
I don't even know what that means.
Neither do I. I didn't know that you could have your own pool that's heritage listed.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
So I was catching up on sleep on Saturday, and I was up for a bit, kind of just meandering about, and then I wake up around 6:30. And this woman, they're both in their 60s, really lovely, cool people. But she comes in, she's like, hey, we've got some friends over. Would you like to join us for a steak and wine dinner? I was like, yeah, I'd love to. She's like, well, yeah, I bought you a steak, so it's got your name on it.
Well, that is the dream.
Yeah, so I go out and I join all of them for steak and lots of wine. And then this guy that's here who's friends with them, he's got bad back pain. And to counteract that, he smokes a lot of marijuana. So next thing you know, we're having our steaks, we're having our wine. We start smoking a couple of joints.
Beautiful.
Smoke a weed vape, my first time doing that.
Yes.
And what an incredible experience. So if I can give you a bit of advice is, obviously drink your bung bung coffee. Second bit of advice, rewatch Shallow Hal and see that it has held up.
And Duncan checks in.
Yeah. And then third bit of advice is go find yourself a couple of cool 60-year-olds, have a steak, wine and marijuana dinner.
Don't judge a book by its cover.
No. I never would have expected that I was going to have a night like that.
No.
2 nights into my Adelaide trip.
Yeah. 60-year-olds on the green and the steaks and the wine. What was it? Were you going red wine?
Started off with some white.
Yeah.
Then moved into a kind of like a dry, like refrigerated Pinot.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going a bit more pinky.
Wow.
Then we went red, and then we finished with a dessert wine.
Oh, like a mead or port?
A mead. A mead feels very medieval.
I think it's like fermented, like it's
It was very
something to do with honey, right?
Yeah, it was very sweet, and it was very nice.
Mm.
And yeah, big cheese platter.
Oh my god!
It was you come over, man.
I've got to. I've got to. My goodness, I've got to move out of here.
Yeah.
Wow. And I forgot where I was going. Oh yeah, the guy cooked it on this ridiculous barbecue.
He told me the story of how he got this barbecue, where he was in Germany and they were selling this beautiful. I can't think of the brand. It's called like Gas Pal or Gas Mate or something like that.
Yeah, right.
And he was saying they were doing bidding, and you can kind of bid against one another. And I think he was a little bit out of it at the time. Might have been smoking his weed vape or something like that. And he kept kind of bidding against himself. So he kind of upped the price because he was just cooked.
Yeah.
So he ended up paying a fair bit more than he thought he would. But part of the deal was
Gas Mate. They look incredible.
Mate. Oh, so good. So it's he got this. That's the one.
That's the actual one, is it?
Almost, yeah. It's got like a fridge compartment, then like a little storage unit, then it's a big, beautiful barbecue.
Yeah, it's better than my actual kitchen. That is crazy.
It's unbelievable. So, but the deal was that they had to set it up all themselves, and in total, everything there weighs about 750 kilograms. And they were bringing in crates, like the crates that the animals travelled in the feature film Madagascar. So they bring these crates through their backyard, and they set up this beautiful barbecue. And I was a little bit worried when he started cooking the steaks because he was getting a bit wobbly by this point. And he's kind of setting it up, and he's letting the thing heat up. And his wife, who wasn't smoking, is like, Are you going to do this or not? He's like, yeah, I'm getting to it. But he pops
having too much fun.
Yeah, 2 of us are having it kind of like medium to well done, and then the rest of them are having medium to rare, right? And he puts the first 2 on. He's like, great. She's like, you don't want to leave them on too long. He's like, no, I got it. He's like, I'm going to leave them on for 2 minutes, and then we're going to get the others on. And I was worried that something was going to go wrong.
Yeah.
I was like, it's either going to be blue or it's going to be cooked beyond belief.
Yeah. It
was perfect. One of the best steaks I've ever had.
Wow. Yeah. With the senior citizens.
With your words, not mine. Just in case they're listening.
Yeah.
I think they're very youthful and spritey.
Well, if they are, they probably are listening.
Yeah.
Right in my demo.
Yeah, great.
Wow. That's what a start to your festival season.
And I'm here for another 8 nights. So it's
who knows what else is yet to come, what you haven't seen yet.
Man, come bring me adventures.
They're gonna
come to my show, and then let's
have
do
a pool party in a heritage listed pool.
Yeah, come on over.
My goodness. What type of who do you channel as an actor?
As an actor?
Yeah.
I channel the great Ian McKellen. No. I don't know. I mean, in comedy, I'm a big fan of Bo Burnham.
Yep.
So I do musical stuff as well, and I think whenever you see an Australian musical comedian, you can often kind of put them into 2 categories. They're either more similar to Bo Burnham or they're more similar to Tim Minchin.
Right. Yeah, I'm not as well versed on Tim Minchin. I've of course seen his stuff, but
yeah, very wordy, kind of cool stuff. And you know, you'll find your own style, but you kind of those are the two categories. And I kind of lean a bit more towards the Bo Burnham side of things.
Yeah.
So that's as a comedian, I think I fall into that realm. As an actor, oh man, who am I? I'm one of a kind.
Love it. Love it.
Thank you so much.
I think if I was going to channel an actor, I think I probably wouldn't have a choice but to go Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, you don't have a choice.
Yeah, and just curse as much as possible. That would be very fun.
Yeah, he's got his niche.
Yeah,
and it works for him.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah,
I love that. And there's other guys. Like I think De Niro's probably an underrated cursor. Like I think he does a lot more of it than you realize.
Yeah,
and he's good at it.
He's a great cursor.
Yeah. So you don't have to just be an angry black man. You can be
Robert De Niro,
an angry Italian.
Yeah. I'd love to see you in a film where you play Samuel L. Jackson's son.
I'd love that. He'd have to have a white wife, but
yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah,
I think Samuel will be okay with that.
Samuel, maybe.
Yeah, who would be your mum in this feature film?
Oh, I've got a. It could be like a Susan Sarandon.
Oh man,
or
she's a hot mum.
Julie, what's her name? Julianne Moore.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
my mum's a redhead.
There
so
you go.
That's why I've gone for those.
Great. No, very well casted.
Yeah, Nicole Kidman, but I get the feeling that she's a bit of a bitch.
Whoa. I don't know, man.
You know how you can kind of get a bit of someone's personality from their characters that they play.
Yeah.
I just get this feeling she doesn't seem like a fun person to be around. To me, I
don't know. I think
I'm not trying to burn bridges with Nicole Kidman here. Yeah. I was supposed to have her on next week. So,
oh man, you got to cut this as well.
Yeah, cut that. Yeah, no, okay. So Samuel L. Jackson, let's say Julianne Moore.
Yeah,
and if I had a sibling,
okay,
I'm thinking Michael B. Jordan.
Sure, yeah,
older sibling.
Yeah. Same mum.
Same mum, but dad's genes sort of attach themselves a little bit harder to him.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
And that'll all be said in the movie. There's got to be exposition to explain that.
No exposition. No. Just what's understood doesn't need to be explained.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Cool. I'm just, I don't get it.
Well, nobody asked you because you got free tickets.
So, okay. All right. So that's the cast. What's the movie?
I think it's similar to like Family Vacation.
Yeah.
But we're in like a third world country.
Oh, okay. Yeah. The United States.
Yeah, on our way to like Moose World or whatever it's called.
Moose World.
What's the name of the? Do you remember the name of the?
Oh, like Wally's World.
Yeah. Yeah, we're in the United States. Joe Biden,
third world America.
Yeah, Joe Biden's president. Everything's falling apart, and we're trying to travel together. Great. And I don't know where the second act would take us.
Sure.
But yeah, of course there'd be some sort of.
I reckon. How about this? You get to the theme park, you get on a roller coaster. There's snakes on the roller coaster. This is a sequel to Snakes on a Plane.
Yeah. So we get the
stakes are lower.
Motherfucking snakes off my motherfucking roller coaster. I'd say the stakes are higher.
You reckon?
Well, he's got to be moving along cart to cart on a roller coaster, which seems dangerous.
And it won't stop.
No. I'm
invested.
Yeah, something's happened to the control panel. Someone dropped a bung coffee on it. It's gone. The speed's gone up.
Yeah, you've got to promote your coffee.
Yeah, it's highly caffeinated.
That's in your contract.
Roller coaster. Yeah, no, it sounds like a good film.
Man, I can't wait. Coming out in March 2025.
Yes, exactly.
We're going to streamline it.
Yeah. We're going to streamline it, and it's going to be straight to streaming.
Straight to VHS.
Who would play you in the story of?
Oh, I'm in it.
of my family going on a vacation.
Great.
You would be. I'll tell you what. There would be someone playing you.
Yeah.
As like a gas station attendant. Who would be playing you?
Okay, great. Who would be playing me? I reckon we got to get Jason Alexander in.
Yes.
This is going to be finally his award-winning role.
This is going to be the Seinfeld reunion we've been waiting for. And we'll get the whole cast, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Michael Richards. We'll uncancel him for a minute, get him back.
Yeah, just for a minute.
Yeah. And Jerry, of course.
Man, this film
Why is this roller coaster going so fast?
There's snakes on the roller coaster, Jerry.
It's all snakes, Jerry.
I'm
sounds
into
good.
It. Great, can't
Sounds
wait.
good.
Yeah, let's make it happen.
We need crowdfunding. We need you to buy as much coffee as you can. That we're going to funnel coffee money straight into the film. And we're gonna we'll set up a GoFundMe at the link below, and let's see what we can do. How does that go? How does a GoFundMe work? Do you have to get to the goal to get the money?
Oh, mate, I think there's a couple of them, and one of them I know is a bit more flexible.
Right, we need to use that one.
Yeah, we need the flexible one.
Yeah,
because the amount of money we need is very high.
Yeah, there's some big names.
Yeah. We're going to need billions of dollars. This is going to be the most expensive feature film ever made.
It's going to be, this is the Tropic Thunder remake.
Oh, it's also that?
Yeah, it's a Tropic Thunder remake with a taste of the Griswolds plus insert the Seinfeld reunion.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
I think this is an easy sell. Like I could go to a production company right now and be like, I've got something for you.
They'd be like, I think there's a lot going on, and I think honestly, I don't think it's going to get made. I'm sorry to break it to you. I don't want to be the Debbie Downer here, but
it's going to get a lot of I don't know what I just saw.
Yeah, it's going to get a lot of unimpressed, highly confused, not my cup of tea.
How could you possibly let me spend $30 on this? And buy 2025 movie tickets, I mean, they're going to be $50.
Oh, yeah.
But we're straight to streaming.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter. But
every streamer's going to have to up their prices to pay for this film.
Yeah.
Oh, God. What else? What else has been happening?
Oh man, what's been going on?
You changed your look. So we talked about the Hawaiian shirts.
Yeah. Let's talk about my look on an audio based program.
We got a camera.
What the hell? Oh my god!
Cut that. Have you got a muse for your new style?
A muse? What?
A space muse, like an inspiration. Do you have anyone in mind when you go to the shops? And you're like, people go to the
shops.
People go to the barber, right? And they have a photo and they're like, make my hair look like this. Do you have an idea, a picture of what you want to look like when you go to the shops?
Sure. I took a photo of myself from the last haircut I had. This is my first time getting a haircut from someone other than my usual barber in like 12 years.
Because you got your haircut in Perth.
I did, yeah. So it was a real gamble. But I think she did a good job.
Yeah.
Happy with the work. Actually, I remember maybe about 10 years ago, I got really into Entourage, the television series.
Entourage.
I don't think that's how I say it. So there's a lot of Italian inflection. There's a bit of Italian in it, sure.
There's some Italian.
When I was a teenager, I thought it was the best show ever made.
I love it. I still love it.
Yeah, I did a rewatch. Like Shallow Hal, I don't think it's aged super well.
I don't mind it.
Very rich men fucking women and doing drugs, living that lifestyle.
But there's not real. The only drugs really is weed. There's a season where he gets hooked on coke.
Coke, yeah.
But like it's pretty harmless. It's not as much sex as it seems like. When you go and rewatch it, it's not as much sex as like Mindy Kaling thinks it is.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I think because I went back and rewatched it specifically because I saw so much like stuff reemerging on Twitter about how it hasn't aged well and all that. And I was like, oh, was it that bad? And I went back and I was like, it's just like dream fulfillment. Like
Yeah, sure.
you just want to be something and take the rest of your crew along for the ride. Like it's
Well, because it's inspired by like Mark Wahlberg and his early life. So, I mean, it's fun. You know, I enjoyed it. It was a big inspiration for me for a while.
Sopranos.
No. But there was a time there where, I was a big fan of that show.
Yeah.
And I remember going to in the show and being like, this is what I want to look like.
Yes.
And she was like, I reckon we can do that. I want to look like.
Yes.
And she was like, I reckon we can do that. And I got my hair cut like Vincent Chase.
Well, before he got the haircut, remember he gets a haircut and ruins everything?
No, but he had like
shaggy,
curly hair,
curly.
kind of, like not bangs, but kind of like a bit of curls at the front.
Yeah.
And she was like, this is doable. She's like, so often people come in and they show a photo of someone with a completely different hair type.
Brad Pitt.
And she's like,
That's what I always show my barber. He can never pull it off.
Excuse me, Barbara, I'd like to look like this. Blake, that's Bob Marley. I want to give it a go.
Yeah. Hook it up. I thought you were supposed to, aren't you the best?
Yeah, Clay said I'd look really good with this hairdo.
Okay, so Vincent Chase.
Yeah.
With the same, but different style, like in terms of clothing.
Yeah. I up until the age of 14, I only wore basketball shorts.
Okay.
You're wearing basketball shorts now.
Yeah.
They're great. They're very comfortable.
They are. These ones have pockets, but shit pockets.
Oh, you can't play on the court with them.
They're shallow.
Yeah.
Like Hal. And when I sit down, my phone falls out every single time.
Man.
Now look at it.
Whoa, your phone's all broken.
Yeah, because of my stupid basketball shorts.
Man, you gotta try different pants.
I know.
Because first time I ever wore jeans, I can.
You remember the first time you wore jeans?
I do. Yeah. What a strange thing to know.
How old were you when you first wore jeans?
I was 14.
No,
I'd never wore jeans before. I was a short boy.
Right.
And I remember it because I've spoken with you about this. I did a thing called Class Clowns.
Yes.
Which is a comedy competition, part of the Melbourne Comedy Festival for secondary school students.
Yes.
And I did that. I did my heat, got through to the state final. Then I got through to the national final. So my fourth or third ever gig was at the Melbourne Town Hall in front of 2,000 people.
Unbelievable.
Truly. And
I still haven't performed to 2,000 people.
Yeah, well, I haven't since. my career's been on a steady decline. But I remember, because, for the heat and for the state final, I wore, like, my nicest shirts, but I was wearing my basketball shorts.
Yeah.
Because that's what I was into, But for the national final, Mum was like, do you want to try some jeans? And I went, okay. Why not? Let's give it a go. So I got a straight cut.
Yep.
And a nice tap out t-shirt.
Oh, tap out. Went for it. UFC, MMA stuff. Nice. Aggressive.
Got a haircut and, tried to look presentable.
Was it the Vinny Chase cut?
No, this was shorter.
It
was the cocaine buzz cut.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I wore jeans, and then I started liking it. And there's kind of an unspoken rule in comedy which is you can't wear shorts on stage.
Yeah.
And which, I do now because I'm more confident that I'm funny and no one should care about seeing my calves.
Yeah.
And I've got real nice calves.
You do.
Thanks so much.
You do. And if I had calves like that, I would wear shorts on stage.
Yeah, man. Keep working on them.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Let's do some workouts.
Do some calf raises.
Yeah.
I've never worn shorts on stage.
No, really.
When I'm wearing shorts, there's a lot of leg. You know what I mean? So I'm not sure.
I used to have a rule because I used to wear Hawaiians every time I performed.
Yep.
Even if I was just doing a shitty open mic, doing 4 minutes, I'd have a Hawaiian on.
Yep.
But then this was in my period when I was still figuring out what my style was and how to be funny, I suppose. So I kind of came up with a rule, which was I'm only going to wear the Hawaiian when I'm doing stuff that I know is good. So then I started doing gigs in just more casual clothing.
Yep.
And that was my new material wear.
Right.
But now, if I was still wearing Hawaiians frequently, I'd wear them to every gig because I'm fucking crushing.
Nice. Buy tickets. I'm beside myself. Blake Everett. Crushing it.
Come along.
Doesn't even need a Hawaiian to get it done.
Nah, man.
Man, I like having a different uniform for new material.
Yeah.
I don't mind that at all.
It's like your home and away jersey.
Yeah, I like that. I try to just go as plain as possible, no distractions.
Yeah.
So just like a plain tee. Lately I've even been thinking about long sleeves more. Like just so people aren't trying to like, especially in like a 1 hour show, you know, people towards the end may start getting distracted and start trying to look at tattoos or whatever. I just trying to avoid that stuff. But I'm a sweaty boy.
Man, yeah.
I can't go for that. I just can't do long sleeves. It's hard.
Maybe you should perform behind a curtain. So then they're not going to get distracted by anything.
JB Smoove does that kind of shit. He'll like do a whole set just looking at the curtain and shit. Is that how easy it is for you now, bro? Like, just mix it up to like give yourself a challenge. Well, I've done a couple of comedy challenge nights. Have you done any of these types of things?
No, I don't think so. Like, how's that work?
You pick like a challenge out of a bucket, and like whoever the room runner is come up with all these challenges, and it might be, do you set with the lights off, or do you set in full like house lights on? Yeah. You've got to plug in and listen to music while you try and give your set.
Right. Okay. That's fun.
And yeah, I did one where I had to look at the back of the room. Well, not the back, like the curtain behind me. Yeah. And yeah, I did not deliver. I couldn't. I did my set, but it just fucked with my timing. Yeah. You can't see the reactions. Like when do you sort of naturally go again? Yeah, fucked with me. I didn't get any laughs. I was doing gold.
Well, I think I'm a bit of a masochist because I kind of love putting myself on the back foot. I love kind of, you know, I'll have my 5-7 minutes or whatever that I know back to front. And, you know, I can play around with a bit, but I often like to come out onto the stage and just riff on maybe an idea that I've had during the day. Yeah. And kind of just, you know, spend a little bit of time, but doing something that's not trialed and tested. Yeah. And kind of getting the audience to be like, you know, oh, is this guy actually going to be any good? Yeah. You know, it's fun. And then when you go into the trial and tested stuff, you kind of surprise them. Yeah, okay. But then it's also good, like sometimes you'll come out and you'll do a little riff and they'll love it. And you're like, okay, great. You know, the new stuff is good. Yeah, got a new bit. I've got a brand new bit that I've been doing. This isn't in my show, so I don't mind talking about it. Yeah. I've done this maybe 5 times now where I come out and I say, I remember when I was a kid, I used to think the easiest way to die was by putting a plastic bag on your head. Like I get a plastic bag even remotely close to my head and my mum would be like, Blake, you're going to suffocate. And then growing up, what I've learned is it's not actually, you know, that easy to die from it. And then I get a plastic bag out of my pocket and put it on my head. And then I keep doing my routine. And then after the next joke, I get out some gaffer tape and I gaffer the plastic bag around my neck so all the air's stuck in there. Yeah. Then I'm doing my routine for another like 2 minutes with a plastic bag on my head, just heavily breathing, and you can see the plastic bag blowing up and then kind of sucking in and going into my mouth. And it's really funny. Yeah. And but the tension in the room is palpable. Yeah. Because everyone there knows not to put a plastic bag on your head. Yeah. And everyone's just so tense. And it's much fun. But they know you're not going to die. But there's a risk. They don't know that. Right. Maybe I will. Maybe tonight is the final gig for Blake Everett.
I love that. That's fucking hilarious. I'm still very like insecure and nervous and so that's probably why had some trouble the other night. But like new gig, like I'll just go to an open mic and doing new stuff. I get so fucking anxious. I get anxious doing gold, but like doing new stuff, I'm just like, oh man, I'm gonna be sick. Yeah.
It's you know, one day you'll be a veteran like me.
One day in 7 years from now, yeah.
But it's it's daunting, you know. It's a scary thing to put yourself up there. I remember I was with Pete James once after our Comedy Fest shows, and we were just sitting in our car, just kind of debriefing, and a cop car pulls up behind us. We must have looked a little bit dodgy, you know. And he just kind of comes up, knocks on the window. He's like, hey guys, just go to a random breath test. Because even it is a thing, even if you're just sitting in your car, it's not turned on, you can get fined if you're over the limit. So be safe out there.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. I thought the key had to like at least be in the ignition
I think
or something.
you can. It depends on the cop, I guess.
Yeah,
you
right.
know, they're all cunts, but some of them are even bigger cunts.
Yeah, Black Lives Matter.
That's so true. Actually, blue lives matter.
Actually, all lives matter. Don't know if you've heard.
No, not all lives. Just cops. Cops' lives matter. No, I wish them all the best, but they should defund the police and put the money. You know,
Put money into the roads. There's potholes everywhere.
They're not trained for every. Anyway, I don't want to go into it. Actually, let's talk about it for a minute. I believe that the police should be defunded, but my thought is, you know, obviously there's going to be situations where police are needed.
Yes.
Sorry for getting serious all of a sudden.
Let's do it.
This is something that I am invested in because often people hear the phrase defund the police and they just go fucking crazy. They're like, no, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, no, we're just saying that, you know, it's a multi-million-dollar industry, especially in the US.
Yeah.
You know, so much money goes into it. And these people aren't being properly trained for everything. Like, you shouldn't be sending the same person who's going to a hostage situation and then also going to a domestic abuse call out.
Yeah.
You know, there should be someone that's specifically trained for that and then have the person that's specifically trained for the other thing.
And also working like double shifts and shouldn't be allowed when you have to use your judgment so much.
Yeah. And so that's what I mean when I say it. And thanks for listening to me get a little bit serious for a moment. Now I'm going to go back to, what was I talking about?
Killing yourself on stage with a plastic bag.
Yeah. So I recommend that everyone at home, on behalf of Clay and the Poddy, put a plastic bag on your head tonight, okay?
Give it a crack.
Give it a go. If you make it through the night, send an email through.
Could be the best sleep of your life.
It could be the longest, yeah.
I actually had like 5 or 6 cops in the front row of my show last night.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And they were blind.
Really?
Blind. Like
on duty?
No, they weren't on duty.
Yeah, black comedian in gluttony. Let's go watch it.
Yeah, no, well, I've got several jokes that sort of take shots at police.
Yeah.
And they loved it.
Yeah.
They were actually the one portion of the audience that had a good hour. They loved it. They loved it.
Good. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, sensitivity.
Yeah.
Like, but I do like getting that reaction that's not a laugh sometimes. Like, I heard that's fucked last night. I was like, it's funny.
Yeah.
It's a joke. That's why, like, yes, it's fucked. It's
to get
supposed to be fucked.
A real life genuine response like that it's very amusing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I was saying. So Pete James and I sitting in a car.
And
this police officer comes up, does a breath test on me. And then he's like, what have you been up to tonight? I'm like, oh, we've both just been doing comedy shows. We're just kind of sitting here talking about it. And he went, comedy? He's like, whoa. As he starts zipping up his bulletproof vest, he's like, comedy? I could never do that. Too scary. It's like, dude.
That's crazy.
You're wearing a bulletproof vest.
Yeah.
You think you're going to get shot tonight.
Yeah, you're nervous, bro. I'm not nervous.
So that just, baffles me and I meet people so often that are so scared by public speaking. And I think I used to be. I used to be really nervous. Every now and again, if I'm doing a big gig, I will get kind of nervous. And I think it's good to get nervous. Yeah. Because if you're nervous, it means you care about what you're doing.
Yeah.
And I think that's so important.
Yeah. Even my most confident I've ever been in my life was on a basketball court. Yeah. And I used to get the biggest butterflies in my stomach before every game. Yeah. Knowing that I was going to perform. But it's good if you're not getting nervous. Yeah, like you said, you don't care or you're not interested, you're not present. Yeah, there's got to be some level of nerves. You don't want to be having a panic attack before every show. But
no, you got to care. Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to go over before we wrap it up?
I don't think so. I just want everyone out there to live their best life.
Make sure while you're living your best life, you buy tickets to Brett. I did this last time. Blake Everett.
Yeah. I get called Brett
I'm
so
beside
often.
myself.
You're on a list of people that call me Brett, so don't feel too bad.
No, I called you Blake last time, but I called you Blake Everton.
Everton, that's right. Yeah.
I actually had a client at the time with the last name Everton, and it just like fucking came out, and I didn't notice until I was editing clips, and I saw it. I was so like, funny. "You fucking moron!"
Actually, there was a teacher at my high school whose name was Mr. Everett, and my last name's Everett.
Yeah.
And I remember once I was just standing next to him, or he came up to me and he was like, "Mr. Everett," and I went, "No, that's you." And he just goes silent for a moment and goes, "Oh, sorry." What a fucking idiot.
No, that's you. Yeah. He would have felt like such a fool, man.
What an idiot.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. I fucking love that. Oh, that got me. Oh, man. Everybody, go buy tickets to Blake Everett. I'm beside myself. I am beside myself. Go see this show. He's a very funny man. I've seen him many times. Gets me losing it like that in person every time. You've got to go and see the show. I'm going to go see it this week. So hopefully I'll see you there. Do you have any promo codes or anything for the people that stuck around?
Nah, pay full price.
Yeah. Support live comedy, you dogs.
I might have a discount code, but check my Instagram at Blake, you filthy cow.
Blake, you
The word. The full word, yeah.
The full word. Blake, you filthy cow on Instagram. Follow, have a look at the stories, the posts, see if any promo codes pop up. If they don't, pay full price like an adult. All right. Love you guys. Don't forget you love yourselves. And as always, bung bung.